Brace yourself, folks. This one is insane. If you thought Canada's slide into the abyss with MAID, medical assistance in dying, was bad enough, just wait until you see how they are now aggressively expanding this culture of death all across the nation. From secret death houses funded by your tax dollars, to euthanizing frail grandmothers with dementia on a family member's whim. The culture of death is exploding across this country. They're literally building death factories. This isn't compassion. It's state-sponsored slaughter. And on top of that, they're carving it into law, like some twisted commandment. Canada's so-called healthcare system has become a conveyor belt to the grave, and the vulnerable are first in line. We're not talking mercy here. We're talking exploitation, wrapped in a pretty little bow of choice and dignity. But let's cut through the spin, shall we? This is eugenics 2.0, globalist playbook style. And if we don't wake up, guys, it's gonna swallow us whole. So let's start with the lies that they sold you. Remember when they promised that medical assistance in dying, or MAID, was for unbearable suffering? The terminally ill patients begging for peace? Yeah, that was yesterday's script. Today, it's open season on the vulnerable. For example, take a look at what just happened in Ontario only a few months ago. A frail woman in her 80s with dementia was put to death under the MAID program. And according to the Office of the Chief Coroner's own report, a family member pushed for it after she mumbled once about maybe wanting to die. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't sign her own name. She could barely squeeze a hand to say yes or no. But one day, in a haze, she mumbles to a family member, "Wish to die." And that's all it took, as if a confused whisper in the fog of dementia counts as consent. It was then twisted into a MAID request. They called it her wish. She refused at first and then got shuffled into long-term care. Then, 4 months later, another family nudge, and just like that, she's assessed in one rushed visit. The doc asks her to squeeze a hand and repeat a question, and that qualifies as consent. Consent from a woman who can't comprehend her own name on some days? This isn't medicine, guys. It's murder by proxy. They wheel her in, inject the poison, and it's lights out. Gone. Just like that. And get this, out of the 103 dementia deaths reviewed, these poor souls weren't dying from pain. They were crushed by a loss of dignity and a fear of becoming a burden. The coroner's committee even admitted in a report that we need additional considerations for consent in these cases. Translation: this was shaky at best. A potential train wreck of family pressure and half-baked assessments. The report even quotes, "Her wish to die was interpreted by a family member as a potential request for MAID." Interpreted? That's code for, we decided for her. Now, brace yourself again, folks, because it gets much darker. In Victoria, British Columbia, the self-proclaimed euthanasia capital of the world, they've now got secret MAID houses popping up like poisonous mushrooms, run by a Toronto nonprofit and funded by Ottawa. These aren't hospices. They're one-way checkout stations. A hidden, secret death facility where the suffering show up, get their shot, and then die right there on the spot. They've had one running in Toronto since 2021, and now they're spreading like wildfire. No publicity, no address on Google, just a stealthy nod from the feds to help those who are in agony. It's like they're building a chain of drive-through morgues, normalizing the end in some shady back room while the rest of us foot the bill. And if that doesn't chill your blood, just wait till you hear what they're now doing in Quebec. On October 9th, their justice minister dropped the Quebec Constitution Act of 2025, a bombshell bill to rewrite the Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms. What does it do? It carves abortion and euthanasia into stone as fundamental rights. Not a tweak, not a pilot program, a full rewrite of their human rights charter. Abortion is now a sacred right. Euthanasia is now fundamental, etched in stone and unbreakable. This is unprecedented in Canada. It's a full frontal assault on life itself, turning Canada into a dystopian death cult. The bottom line is, guys, life is not the problem. The state is the problem. And right now, we're a global cautionary tale, folks. This is the culture of death on steroids, and it's expanding faster than you can say informed consent. So what do we do about all this, you may be asking? Well, I definitely want to talk about that, but really quickly, just before we do, considering the topic of today's video, I want to talk about something that really sucks, and that's cancer. I hate cancer. I've had uncles and aunts who have died from it. My wife's dad recently died from it, and my dad got it, but thank God he survived. Sadly, though, many won't. In fact, 2 out of 5 Canadians are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. And approximately 1 in 4 Canadians are expected to die of the disease. But thankfully, guys, treatments are improving. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, brought to you on behalf of Outside the Box Capital. Today, we're looking at Oncolytics Biotech Inc., listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol ONCY. Oncolytics is a clinical stage biotechnology company, and right now, they're developing Pelareorep, a cutting-edge cancer treatment provided by IV. Pelareorep enhances the body's immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells, turning cold tumors into hot ones that the body's defenses can then target. Cancer often hides from the immune system, making many treatments less effective, but that's where Pelareorep comes in to revolutionize things. It's a trailblazing immunotherapy by IV, which teaches the body's defenses to target and obliterate tumors, selectively targeting diseased cells without damaging healthy, normal ones. And since Pelareorep only multiplies in cancer cells, it's well tolerated. Its ability to both directly attack tumors and enhance the body's natural defenses positions it as a promising therapy across multiple cancer types. Pelareorep is a unique immunotherapy platform that utilizes the RAS pathway to target multiple GI tumors with an outstanding track record of effectiveness. There's no other GI asset like it that offers the platform combination potential of Pelareorep. Here's what the CEO recently had to say about it. "This is the most encouraging efficacy signal with a non-chemo regime we have seen in anal cancer," said Jared Kelly, Chief Executive Officer of Oncolytics Biotech, achieving a 30% objective response rate, more than double the benchmark of the only approved immunotherapy, along with multiple responses lasting more than a year, including 2 complete responses, underscores Pelareorep's ability to unlock deep and durable immune responses. "We believe the data represents our best chance to obtain an accelerated approval in a rare disease with virtually no options outside of chemotherapy. Competitors such as RevMed and CG Oncology have single target efficacy and indications, versus Pelareorep that has platform potential across a $16 billion GI tumor market. RevMed has a $10 billion market cap, and CG has a $3 billion market cap. Compare that to ONCY's market cap of 118 million. This is an overlooked company, folks. A 9-figure exit potential in a category-defining market with strong efficacy and safety data and platform potential. That's why, in my opinion, it's a great time to check out Oncolytics Biotech Inc., listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker ONCY. All right, guys, let's talk about what you can actively do to put a stop to Canada's killing machine, also known as MAID. The first thing you can do is starve the beast. Every MAID house, every lethal jab, every secret clinic is bankrolled by your tax dollars. So call your MP and demand that every single dollar that goes to euthanasia clinics is redirected to palliative care. Ottawa funnels millions of dollars to nonprofits who are running these death dens. Stop donating to any charities that fund or refers to MAID. We have to defund the death dealers. The second thing you can do is flood Parliament with your calls and letters so that Bill C-218 can pass, the Right to Recover Act. It slams the door on euthanizing people whose only condition is mental illness. If 10,000 people do it this week, it passes. And that's been done before. Another thing you can do is support the groups who are actively fighting against MAID. If you haven't seen my video, The Resistance to MAID is being challenged by death cult activists. Please join the fight for life. Make sure you check it out, guys. Here I interviewed Angelina Ireland from the Delta Hospice Society about her fight against MAID, how the government took her property for refusing to do MAID, and then sent death cult activists to shut her down. But that didn't stop Angelina and the fight for life. There is a resistance to MAID, and they need our support. And finally, help raise awareness about this issue by sharing this video far and wide. Make it go viral, because we're never going to see the change that we need until enough people know that there's a problem in the first place. If we can manage to do all these things, we won't just slow it down, we'll bury it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel or wherever you happen to be watching this if you haven't already. Click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and stay tuned, my friends. I'm going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.